With the grammar workshop, you'll know what are the linking words, what are but words, and how it will help you to frame sentences when you're thinking of two actions, when you're thinking of two ideas, whether you're speaking or you're writing. Compound sentences will help you in the long way, in the long run. So, starting the day with the thought of the day. So, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the thought of the day today is a man with no imagination. A man, a person with no imagination has no wings. A person with no imagination. If someone is there who doesn't have any imagination, he does not think outside the box, who will only learn whatever is written. Somebody who is not imagining has no wings. Has no wings? Of course. You have wings. Your ideas, your thoughts are wings. They take you to far off places. These are the wings. The words are the wings. You can roam about. You can fly wherever you want to. If you have the imagination. So, let us sum it up. A man with no imagination has no wings. The imagination is needed before you can do great things, before you can do anything. Imagination is required for almost everything. Imagination is needed before you can do great things or small things. The wings in the code are all about the actions one takes, the actions, the thoughts, on what they see in their imagination. Once you've imagined something, you can get started on making it happen. Like if you imagine to be the best speaker in class, make it happen. You imagined it. You have programmed it. So you presume the quote means imagination is of something fairly practical and not too crazy. Now, don't think I'll be as tall as the tree. Something which is practical, something which is not crazy. So you have to think about it. Can anybody come up with an explanation on a man with no imagination has no wings? Yeah. What does this mean to you? If I say,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll write a sentence, find fervor in whatever you do. It means find excitement in whatever you do. Find excitement in whatever you do. You take down this sentence, write it down, you even learn it by heart. But then what is your imagination about it? How can you say this in your own words? Find excitement in whatever you do. This should open the door to your imagination. Yes, somebody was saying something on the thought of the day today. A man with no imagination has no wings. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. For doing anything, whether it is small or big, we need the imagination. We need to think about it first. As a student, if I think about my goal or anything that I want to achieve in life, first I need to imagine about that. How I will get that. First I will think, then I will be able to achieve that.
Yeah.
That's imagination. Imagination is very important before we do anything.
Yes. So this is all about intrapersonal communication. You think, you analyze, you dream, you believe, and then you pen down your thoughts.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
thinking is something, analyzing is something which everybody should. And here we
Yes,
are
ma'am. If we will not be able to analyze, then how we will be able to make that happen?
able to, if I give you a word, like if I give you a word, excitement. Think about it. The word excitement. What other words come in your mind when you see the word excitement?
Happiness,
Yeah.
eager to do something,
No, just one word. Excitement,
desperate,
Enthusiasm.
enthusiasm,
Despo.
desperation.
holiday,
Yes, ma'am. Very despo to do the work.
dedication, good health.
Yes.
So one word can link to so many other words. You understand? This is also called thinking out of the box. One word will. This was one exercise which I was always conducting in communicative English classes. I used to write one word on the board, and the students in the class, they made their own list of 10 words. For example, if when I wrote college, they came up with a lot of things, lot of other words. College, knowledge, friends, teachers, job, work.
A
So all
student.
words,
Classroom.
classroom, discipline.
Bench.
Yes, discipline.
Whiteboard. Vagara.
Laughter.
Etc.
Yes, laughter, canteen, food. So one word can link up to so many other words. Now, how you have done this? Because you have imagined. One word has opened doors to a lot of other words. Like, what does it come in your mind when you see this quote? A man with no imagination has no wings.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think, ma'am, imagination is what lights the fire within us. And it's what, in the word of the poet, gives us wing. With a little imagination, almost anything is possible. With too much imagination, not a lot get done. And ma'am, the trick is to find the sweet spot between stick in the mud and a daydreamer. Ma'am, there is a crazy story when the Wright brother thought that they should fly in the sky. Then everyone thought that they were just become crazy, but now just we are flying in the flight, and it's just a big great experience for them also, and they experimented and so much, and others might have thought that they were wrong, and no, they were not crazy. So ma'am, they have their good imagination regarding that they should make flights, and now we are flying.
Exactly. Now, what do these writers do? These novelists, these writers, these short stories, the stories which you read, they're all imaginations. They
Yes,
all get
ma'am.
thoughts.
They all are just imagination.
Yes.
Sometimes imagination is very good, not too much, but imagination is sometimes very good for us. So we have to imagine about something and something in our life.
Good for you because you are programming yourself. You are programmed. How are you going to spend this life? How are you going to spend this week? So how you have programmed it, it is all up to you. So
Yes, ma'am.
think,
Of course, ma'am.
analyze, imagine, do some intrapersonal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, imagination makes us a perfect, because ma'am, without imagination we can't develop, because ma'am, someone says that in Hindi that without thinking and without imagining we can't prove itself, because ma'am, if we imagine anything, then we can do something for this. Just like as a man, we can imagine that I will be a good man in after some time, then we do something for making a good man. So that's why if we imagine anything, this is a good for us, ma'am. According to me, ma'am, this is my view, this is my opinion, ma'am.
In business English, it's called intrapersonal communication. Intra. Delving inside, looking inside your mind, thinking, the alone time with you. And This is needed.
And
Anybody
now also it can be an example that we imagine, we think, then we say a presentation about this in front of you.
Yeah,
It is
you are
also imagination.
That we have done and dusted with our presentation, and we are
Yes,
speaking
ma'am.
to this. A man with no imagination has no wings. So you can make a presentation on this. Now you are imagining that you are doing this, and when you imagine
Yes,
a
ma'am.
program, you are actually halfway there, because well begun is half done. And imagine attainable goals, something which is not crazy, something which is not irrelevant, something which can be done, something which can be achieved.
Ma'am, I also think that ma'am, knowledge is limited to all we know that, but while imagination embraces the entire world, I think that.
Yes, exactly. So think of something which you can really do.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was the thought of the day, and it gives wings to desire. Like when I float a thought of the day, everybody in the class is supposed to come up with something or the other. Presentation is
Yes,
something
ma'am,
that
with our
everybody
own
should do,
imagination.
and so this is
Yes, it's
communication.
our imagination, which we imagined and then we say. It's all about our imagination.
Yeah, I am. But what I imagine about this class, that the sooner I talk about the thought of the day, I would like to see. I imagine seeing a lot of hands being raised, and then I have to pick and choose. The first come, first serve. So I expect all of you, and I imagine that this is going to take you to the heights where you want to be, the place where
Yes,
you have imagined, you have programmed yourself to be. And everybody who doesn't want to speak good English, everybody wants to speak English. Let us drop the good. Everybody wants to speak English.
Yes, ma'am.
How well
Ma'am,
you can tell
sometime
you?
ago you
How can you be different from the others?
Excuse
How
me,
can the
ma'am.
fastest
I want
way?
to ask one question.
Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is the difference between imagination and dream? Like,
Dream is something.
is there any difference?
Yeah, you imagine a lot of things, but dream is a little serious. One dream you see when you are asleep, and one dream will not let you sleep. Your future plan, your vision, your mission. You
Yes,
dream
ma'am.
to be a good person. You dream of a successful life. So dream is a little more serious thing. And that will lead
Okay.
you to imagination. So one dream which you see when you're sleeping, and one dream which will not let you sleep. Like you have this dream to be a good speaker. Tomorrow is your exam. Tomorrow is your presentation. So this dream that I want to be the best in the class, this should not let you sleep. This should keep you awake. Why? Because you have put all your energy, you have put all your effort in it. So imagination is different, and dream is something serious.
yes,
You
ma'am.
can dream it.
And
If you can dream it, you can make it happen.
Yes, ma'am, I
Imagination
got
may
it.
run wild. Imagination may run wild. It all depends on your thoughts. If you are positive, you will start thinking good things. Good vibes will be coming your way. But if you are thinking about negative things, your imagination will take you there. So your thoughts, your mind, you are the person who is guiding your imagination. Like if you are a worried person, you'll think of all the negative things. What if this happens? What if I don't pass? What if this? What if that? What am I going to? What am I going to do? But if you're positive, yes, definitely I'm going to pass. I am going to ace out this exam. This is going to be a breeze for me. This is going to be as easy as ABC. If you have programmed yourself, if you have imagined, your imagination will guide you into your action. If you think, yes, this interview, I'm going to ace it out. And this presentation about a man with no imagination has no wings. This presentation, I bet you I'm going to get the best mark. I'm going to score the highest. Now, if you've imagined this, you will work hard for it. You will browse the net, you will read, you will do homework. You will follow all the P's of presentation, like preparing, you'll prepare. You'll practice, you will prepare, you'll browse the net, you will paraphrase, you will put in your imagination. So efforts will be there. But yes, if you're imagined, imagination is all about negative and positive thoughts. So think of, for positive results, your imagination should be positive. Good things and bad things. Life is a mixed bag. So there are do's and don'ts. Here we're not talking about negative things, we're talking about positive imagination. So did you get the answer? Dream is something which you aim at.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Yeah, you got it, no? And a serious thing.
Yes, ma'am.
In a very simple quote, I
Yes,
have explained
excuse me, ma'am.
the dreams, one dream you see when you sleep, and one dream, your career, your future. This will not let you sleep because you are awake, you are analyzing, you are visualizing, you're thinking. Right? Yes, Patai, you want to say something? Hello? So I'm
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Was anybody saying anything?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
what you meant?
Ma'am.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. All right now. Now we're moving ahead with the grammar workshop. Linking words to link your ideas together. We had already finished the and words, and now we are up to the second, the but words. So, of course, these are the
There's an example I please use, excuse me, ma'am. And
Pratay, you're
just like
breaking.
as ma'am, sometimes you see.
So, Pratay, Prakash, you're breaking.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, keep doing. Me too.
All right, these but words. So we use these words to join two words or phrases when the second one has the opposite meaning to the first one. Point number one. We use these words to join two words or phrases or ideas when the second one has the opposite meaning to the first one. When the second one is surprising. When one is negative and one positive. So in a sentence, they are both opposite meanings. Surprising, the second is surprising, or when one is negative and one is positive. The sentences are, the new car is cheap, but fast. Now here you can use your imagination. Make your own sentence with but. I called, but there was no one there. He is short and not really handsome, but people find him attractive. Quite surprising. Opposites. So, the new car is cheap but fast. He is poor but happy. I called out, but there was no one there.
But write smoothly.
Yes, hello, you can make your own sentences. Use your imagination. I called out, but there
It's
was...
expensive. It's expensive but long lasting.
Yes.
Yes,
I called out, but there was no one there. I waited,
yes,
but no one came.
I reached the college, but no one is there.
Okay, that can never be. Okay, make some positive sentences. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Reached the
But
college, but there was no one there. Okay, that is never going to happen.
He-
Fateh.
He is intelligent but not confident.
Yeah, he's intelligent, but not very good sentence. He's intelligent, but not confident. He's short, but not really handsome. But people find him attractive because of his positive approach in life. Make sentences. Carry one sentence, elaborate it. Right. The
Some
second-
castle in the air.
Yeah.
Castle in the air.
Yes. The second but word is although or even though. Use this before a statement that makes the main statement surprising. Although we are, use this before a statement that makes the main statement surprising. Although we are a small company, we still produce 10,000 cars a year. Although we are a small company, the punctuation should be there, the comma. Although we are a small company, we still produce 10,000 cars a year. Second, I enjoyed German even though I was not very good at it.
ma'am,
Ma'am,
even
although
though,
it's
yeah, ma'am, although, acha, bolo.
Yes, even though.
although it's COVID time, still CIMAGE is providing us the regular online classes.
Very good. Yes.
Ma'am, although she is young, she is very independent.
Very good. Although she is young, she is very independent. On the other hand, these are all but words. Although, even though. On the other hand, on the contrary also. On the other hand, on the contrary. Use this at the beginning of a sentence when you have just mentioned one side of an argument and you are going to mention the opposite side. Nuclear power is cheap. On the other hand, you would argue that it is not safe. Did you get this sentence? Use this at the beginning of a sentence when you have just mentioned one side of an argument and you are going to mention the opposite side. So you are doing what both positive and negative in one sentence. Nuclear power is cheap. On the other hand, you would argue that it is not safe. I want to go to the party. But on the other hand, I ought to be studying. I should be studying. Now here's the statement, I want to go to the party. But on second thoughts, I ought to be studying. Use it with on second thoughts also.
Ma'am, I want to go to eat, but on the other hand, I have to study hard.
Yeah, on the other hand, when there's a vowel, D.
Yes, ma'am. On the other hand.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to go to the party, but on the other hand, but on second thoughts, I ought to be studying. Ought to.
People don't want to go out, but on the other hand, they have to go to generate their livelihood.
Okay. Again, after the vowel, use the as the. On the other hand. Okay. On the contrary. Similarly, you can use on the contrary.
Ma'am, at the same time, can we use?
No, not at the same time because you're using two ideas which are opposite. Like I want to go to the party. This is one idea. I want to go to the party. And the second idea is, or I should be studying. Right? Two opposite things. You want to go to the party. And then on the other hand, on second thoughts, I think I should be studying. Okay. Still, then again, it is spoken. Now I do not like people coming in so late, and they will be marked absent anyways. Still, and then again. Use this when you have given one opinion about something and you now want to say something that suggests the opposite. Similarly, still. I should be going still. Again, the opposite things. Use this when you have given one opinion about something, and then now you want to say something, or you want to add something that is opposite. For example, when you give an advantage and then disadvantage also. Teaching must be interesting. Teaching is an interesting job. Teaching must be an interesting job. Then again, it must be stressful too. I don't know. I will not agree to this statement because it is never stressful for me. And I've always enjoyed teaching. But anyways, just to make you understand, I made this sentence. Teaching must be an interesting job. Then again, it must be stressful too. So again, opposites, interesting and stressful. Look at the adjectives over there. Interesting job. Now find two opposites and then make sentences. Good, bad, happy, sad. So dash must be an interesting, but it can be boring. Interesting, boring. Right. Teaching must be an interesting job. Then again, must be stressful too. The trip will be expensive. Still, we will go. Yeah, you can also, you could have used the trip will be expensive. Although the trip will be expensive, we'll go. But do not use both. The trip will be expensive. Still, we would go. However, and nevertheless. Now, nevertheless. Do not break the word up like never, the, less. It's all written in one. Nevertheless. However, use this in formal writing when giving facts that make your previous sentence seem less true. Use nevertheless at the beginning of a sentence. Use however in the middle, separated from the rest of the sentence by 2 commas. We'll discuss this in the next class because you need to know this and practice. However, nevertheless, because you will be writing business letters, documents. Young people can be rude and badly behaved. That is no reason, however, for treating them like criminals. So here we are talking about young people can be rude, can be badly behaved. But this is no reason why you should be treating them so like criminals. They are students, they are children. Don't treat them like criminals. So young people can be rude and badly behaved. That is no reason, however, no reason, comma, however, comma, for treating them like criminals.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a terrible accident. Nevertheless, air travel is safest from the air travel is the safest form of transport. I forgot to put the over here. It was a terrible accident. Nevertheless, so somebody, it was an air crash, but the person is saying it was a terrible accident. Nevertheless, air travel is the safest form of transport.
Nevertheless.
Yeah. So these are the some sentences with there are more words. We'll deal that in some other grammar class. So, in spite of, despite of. All these are formal. You will be using such words, linking words in your documents. In spite of. Use this to introduce a fact in which one half of a sentence, when this makes the rest of the sentence seem surprising. First half and second half. In spite of having lots of money, comma, he was an unhappy man. Despite his lack of education, he became a successful business person. So he was not educated, but then he became a successful business person. In spite of, despite, can be used interchangeably. Now give wings to your imagination and make sentences as per your choice. We were supposed to do present tense with linking words, but, I do, I don't, I am, I have been. This is for your assignment. Use but words, task